Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Adult Game Reviews. This week I got the unique chance to play the highly anticipated VN Fog of War Book 1 by Story Machine Studios. It was supposed to release to Steam at the beginning of May, but so many devs have complained about Steam taking a long time to approve games.
Today, Junior?
So it's possible this review will come out before Fog of War is even officially released on Steam. I was really excited to play it for a couple of reasons. One, Story Machine Studios has been following my channel since I started it, and two, with a connection to the military through work and family, I tend to gravitate to the struggles, hardships people in war zones have to deal with. So, was Fog of War more like Stripes or Zero Dark 30? Let's find out.
My hobbies are fast cars and fast women.
In Fog of War, you play a Delta Force soldier, which is basically the elite special forces for the United States. Your time in the service is chaotic, but eventually you have to move on from the service. When I first jumped into Fog of War, I was unsure exactly what the story was going to be and how it all played together, but I'll get into the story in a little bit. First, if you want a chance to play Fog of War, Story Machine Studios gave me an extra key to give away. So if you want to enter, 1, you have to be 18 plus, 2, you have to have a Steam account, and 3, comment down below with the hashtag Fog of War. Good luck to everybody. Okay, let's get into the review. Visually, you could noticeably tell Story Machine get better with the renders over time. You have a prologue and 4 chapters. The renders and character models look decent up until about chapter 2 when I noticed a significant jump in the characters' faces and background quality. Even at Fog of War's worst, it was fairly average as far as the renders go, but at its best, it was truly beautiful. You can see some of the differences right here. There were animations and slideshows to break up the static renders, which were all well done. By the end of chapter 4, there are some truly beautiful scenes. The lighting in particular was very pretty. Overall, very solid visually. There was music and sound effects. The sound effects helped set the tone, but the music, I spent probably too much time looking up particular songs that I heard and wanted to listen to again. Luckily, Story Machine does upload a music list which helped narrow my search. There have only been a handful of VNs that I will listen to the music outside of playing it. Eternum, Leap of Faith, BAD, and now Fog of War. I know there was a big emphasis put on music and you could tell. There was only one song that I thought was a miss, which Emily asked me to mute, but every other song was 1 or 2 steps above the normal VN music. Now let's get into the story, but first if you like the video, please like it and subscribe if you aren't. The story is broken up into sections. This is book 1 of 3, so Fog of War is a trilogy. You are introduced to 3 plot lines, with each book completing 1 of the plots. Book 1 eventually becomes a mystery where you have girls go missing, which hits close to home for the MC. The writing was good, with some of the dialogue being a little simplistic here and there, but I'm really nitpicking. When I was playing through the prologue, I found myself wanting more, simply because it feels like many of the major scenes happen very fast. For instance, the whole prologue is about your military career. There's a mission where you get separated from your squad and it fast forwards through you trying to survive. I wanted to see what happens. When you get to your post-military career in chapter 1, you're introduced to everyone very quickly. You meet Vincent, the best friend, and he's like, "What's up, Giga Chad? Want to be best friends?" And you're like, "Yup."
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup.
So there's literally no build up to meeting Vincent. The girls were a bit better where you're introduced and start hanging out with them very quickly, but over the next few chapters you get to know them better. It was just the initial character introduction felt rushed. It took me to chapter 2 to remember who all the love interests were and separate them. You have Kristen, your ex, Lydia, Angelica, Kendra, and Scarlet. There are others, but you can figure that out for yourself. I liked all the girls. They were all smart and pretty. However, if I had to choose, Kristen and Lydia were my 1A and 1B for me. By the end of chapter 4, I was on all the girls' paths, but I know you will have to choose one path at some point. This is not like Pokemon and you can't collect them all.
You must choose.
I see this adding to the replayability in the future, but there isn't a ton of replayability in book 1, unless you want to unlock all the achievements. As far as choices, you don't have a lot of choices, but the ones you did have felt like they matter, whether now or in the future. As for the spicy content, there's a disclaimer at the very beginning of the game basically setting the expectation that there isn't a lot of spicy content. However, I found this to be misleading because there's actually a pretty good amount. You have some options with love interests and some randoms. There really wasn't a lot of diversity with the girls as far as race and body type, but I personally didn't find this to be an issue. There are animations and overall the scenes were pretty good. Now for one thing I didn't expect was Fog of War was like a love letter to the VN community. You have Easter eggs to games like Artemis, Leap of Faith, Eternum, and Project Passion. It was fun to see if I can find all the references, and I probably missed some. There were a couple of cameos that kind of hit me hard, so see if you can spot them all. Overall, I really enjoyed Fog of War. There's so much here that is done well, but there's one thing that may give some people pause. I was able to get on every girl's path and complete all 4 chapters, and it took me about 6 hours. I tend to want first seasons of games to be between 6 to 8 hours in length minimum, and this was at the bottom of that end. The game will release to Steam with the price $10.99, but there will be a release sale for $8.99. So $8.99 for 6 hours? I liked Fog of War enough to feel like this is worth it. So this is a play for me.
You have chosen wisely.
As a reminder, if you want to enter the giveaway, please comment down below. I want to thank all my backers. If you haven't seen my review of Cybernetic Seduction, you can check that out right here. Thanks again. Until next time.